At UW-Whitewater, using technology to train and develop cadets is one of our top priorities, and it gives us an opportunity to recreate scenarios more rapidly so they can go through more iterations of training using the virtual simulations versus real on-the-ground training.
When I first started here as a freshman, we didn't really have any technological advances throughout the program to help us train. Then around my sophomore and junior year, we got wind of this VBS2 program, and that really helped us learn how to train inside the classroom without having to actually go into the field. So it allowed us more of a family type setting.
So using an internet source, and it's kind of like a very high-tech video game, it was a little concerning for me because I wasn't sure if it'd actually bring the training to us in a way that would be beneficial. But actually in the end it was actually something that brought us all together as a unit, and being able to talk amongst each other in close quarters actually helped us grow.
What I liked about it is that we got to view the different situations in a tactical environment from different angles. And when I was doing tactical lanes out in the field for real, you know, you kind of think back to that and remember that, you know, maybe they can't always see what you're seeing, or they can't hear you quite as well.
It helps you gain confidence because you're not outside running the missions. You can do them on the computer, so it's not like, it's stressful, but it's not you. So I feel like it helped me learn how to run the missions without actually being outside doing it first. So once we got outside, I actually ran the missions a lot better than, you know, if I hadn't done that first.
Well, when we did it this last year, I was a squad leader for it. And it was really nice just to get a hands-on, because it was actually my first experience with being in a squad leader position of running a mission. So it was really nice to like get a hands-on doing it on a computer versus actually being thrown out into it right away.
Once they get everything set up, you can pause it and you can go to like this aerial view, and so you can see like exactly how they're laid out, like exactly if the, you know, conducting an ambush or something like that. We can see exactly if they're online, what their spacing is, like how far off the road they are, like where they have like the claymore or whatever set up. And we can see where their like sector of fire is essentially, just because the way the program is written. You can see exactly what they're looking at and how they're looking at, and if the squad leader is tracking out how they're all looking, and it's kind of cool.
We kind of had an out-of-the-box idea. We wanted to take the actual sticks lanes that cadets train on originally at Fort Lewis and now at Fort Knox. And we wanted to be able to recreate an opportunity to train on those lanes.
Dale and Mike up in McCoy basically were able to utilize the operations orders and also the terrain maps that I had at the time from Fort Lewis, Washington, to kind of replicate what the cadets would see and do out at Fort Lewis for LDAC.
There's no, or I should say very little cost associated with using VBS2 technology in terms of, again, going to a military installation, time on the road traveling, drawing barracks, drawing training sites, getting, you know, the cadets out to the training sites. We save time, we save resources, and we can maximize our training effort using VBS2.
VBS2 is really, it's kind of known as the flagship of the Army's Games for Training program, and they say that because it's so versatile. There's a lot of simulations where you're kind of stuck in the cab of a truck or something like that, where VBS2 is more like a civilian type game. You can do a lot of different things. You can do dismounted operations and so on, and there's a lot of versatility in creating scenarios.
Every scenario can be fully customized to whatever that unit's needs are and what they want to do. So we can give them the type of vehicles they want, we can build the characters to the exact loadout that they're going to use for those soldiers. And we can do air assault missions, airborne missions, mounted missions, dismounted missions, stability and support operations. Again, it just comes down to the imagination of the unit that wants to do, and ultimately what the commander's training objective is.
Right now we have a lab with 6 computers that have the VBS software on it, with the hopes of installing on 3 other computers located on our floor, so that they're able to do platoon movements and also squad movements using the software.
One of the unique twists that we incorporated this last iteration was we developed a partnership with a local National Guard unit, Alpha Company 257, and we married up with them to arrange for a joint operation where we did VBS2 training here on campus, and then we battle-handed off the capabilities to them for a drill weekend.
The ROTC program actually scheduled the mobile team to come down with the computer systems and utilize both the Armory and here on campus. When they did that, we were able to actually bring some of our soldiers over and observe the training, and then the next day actually bring the systems to our facility, where we were able to kind of push our soldiers through the training and have the trainers actually build programs and build different scenarios for us, so it was tailored directly to our unit.
At drill, we were able to step into it and kind of lead the training at the unit, and where we were able to do mass amounts of things as far as running convoys, things like that, through the system, where we could do it, like I said, in a classroom as opposed to, you know, picking up all these vehicles and moving down the highway.
For us, it was just awesome. We didn't have to spend any money. We didn't have to send people actually up to the systems at Fort McCoy, where they actually came to us. We continue to use it on almost every 3 to 4 months. Whenever we're at Fort McCoy, we send people over to the actual building where the system's set up, and Dale Wagner and Mike have been phenomenal with us, just letting us kind of go crazy and design different scenarios and utilize that training as much as possible. We've been there, I think, 6 times since we used it for the first time last year.
ROTCs across the country are starting to use it more and more. I think Whitewater may have been the first one locally here to get it going. We now have Marquette. We've got them coming in on the 26th. We've started working with the ROTC at La Crosse, so they're starting to get involved in it. And if you go to the Mill Gaming website, you can see that they're now starting to develop scenarios specifically for ROTC.
They can use it for rehearsal of land navigation. That's kind of the primary tool. For training individual tasks instead of just squad level tasks, they can use it to train each soldier individually on smaller, lower scaled tasks.
It's kind of a unique way where we are, again, trying to promote partnerships and synergy with other local units to utilize the training as a resource and opportunity for their soldiers.